Hey everyone, it's Mark Holloway, CEO of Meridian Medical Staffing, and I am sitting here with Steve, one of our senior recruiters who works out of our California office. In case you can't tell, we're not in Denver. So we are in Southern California and thought we'd take an opportunity while I was out here visiting this office to talk a little bit about Steve and his background and thought I'd do a quick interview with Steve. I think this might be pretty informative for you guys. Now, without naming names of a company, I will tell you that Steve worked for one of the big guys. And by the way, I apologize about the glasses, but literally, if we don't have these on, we we wouldn't be able to see anything at all. So, Steve used to work for a big company, and I've made no qualms or mistakes about the fact that that's exactly what we're going after, and there's many reasons why. But I thought we'd take a few minutes to kind of explain what life was like working for one of the big dogs, and why it is that you're now with Meridian Medical Staffing. So, tell me more about what life was like at, we'll call it XYZ.
XYZ company.
XYZ company, right.
It was a constant grind basically every day. It was, I don't know, basically kind of like call center vibe, I guess you would get it. Kind of a revolving door of new recruiters every 30 days. About 30 people new every month.
So we're not talking about a small company. You guys can place your bets.
Very big.
Right.
It was just one of those things where Fridays was the worst day of the week. Usually used to be my happiest because we get paid, but now it was the worry day because I knew nurses would be calling due to some issue about payroll usually, or
they would not get paid properly?
Not getting paid properly, not understanding their paychecks, not being able to get through to the payroll department, being bounced around, which obviously took up a lot of my day. But yeah, so it was just day in, day out. Working wasn't fun.
Right, so more of a call center. You and I have talked about this off camera a lot.
Yeah.
And again, you've shared with me, it was kind of a lot like your job wasn't really to recruit, really. I mean, you called a recruiter for some of these big companies, but recruiter to me means that you're working with an individual travel nurse and you are working with, his or her kind of list of objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Money, financially, location driven. Obviously you're putting that puzzle together with specialty,
Yep.
everything else, and you're really getting to know a nurse and you're working on an annual or many year career plan.
Mm-hmm.
You've shared with me that at XYZ company, I'm gonna slip and say it, but I hope I don't, that it was more about just slamming bodies in front of jobs, and it wasn't
Order taker.
Yeah, it wasn't even really recruiting. If a nurse said, but the good part was if someone said, I want to be in Southern California,
Yes.
you guys could get them there.
We could get them there, but then they would want to make a lot of money.
So it's the unicorn that doesn't exist.
Didn't
right?
happen.
And I think that's the thing that a medium-sized company like sometimes we struggle with. A nurse will call us and he or she will say, hey, I want to be in Southern California, or I want to be, I don't care, Seattle or New York, one of the 5 boroughs of New York, and I want to make a lot of money. And it's a challenge because, as we know, and I'll say this, a lot of these couple of these big companies are gobbling up a lot of the jobs, and they're working off these 25 to 30% margins, so there's not a lot of money left over, but they're filling jobs every day. So for that travel nurse that's really specific, that says I have to be in La Jolla, which, expensive place, a big company can sometimes get them there. I know sometimes they still struggle too, but they can get them there. But what we want to explain is that if you do that year round, the whole point of traveling, I shouldn't say the whole point, one of the big points of traveling should be to make a lot of money. You know, I mean, you're sacrificing so much as a traveler. You're saying, I'm not willing to go ahead and, I'm not going to have a guaranteed job. I'm going to go ahead and throw it all on the line and see parts of the country and go here and go there. But at the end of the day, I'm giving up so much. You darn well better at least make some money. And the problem is with these big companies, they really fulfill well on getting you to the assignment of choice, but they really fail when it comes to what a nurse is compensated for. And I always scratch my head saying, how can a nurse possibly become a traveler for, let's be frank, $26 an hour in a suitable housing? But the housing's all going to go right to the cost of living, especially if we're talking about La Jolla. I'm just using that as an example, and not too far from where we are right now. But why would you travel to make that kind of money? Because you're talking about what, maybe a $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
You could do that in the middle of the country. You could do that in Omaha, Nebraska.
exactly.
Probably. I know you could
Yeah.
certainly do it in Denver. So I think that's the challenge is that a lot of you that are looking for, you know, very specific location, I would almost say call a big company. I mean, again, if you're working for a travel agency that's worth their weight in salt, they're going to tell you, yeah, you can get it. You know, what I hate is when the travel agency company strings somebody along and they say, I'll try to get it for you, and then they try to convince you to take something else. Just be upfront and say, listen, you can get this job, maybe we don't have it right now. If we do get it, here's what it's going to pay. However, here's some real recruiting options. I can actually get you a job half an hour inland for $5, $6, $7, $8 more an hour, or someplace that might be slightly, you know, a slightly different location. I think that's probably better. So tell me what you like about working with Meridian Medical Staffing, what the difference is for you there.
Well,
I'm setting them up, by the way, because of course it's not going to be bad, right?
I guess originally I got into doing this because I wanted to basically help people who help people.
Right.
That was kind of like my whole purpose. And working at one of the three-letter big companies, there's a couple of them in
getting
Southern
closer.
California. So
We're getting closer. Right.
Anyways, basically I was no longer doing that. I was being an order taker and
Right.
you know, kind of doing what was in the best interest of the company at all times.
Yeah.
What I love about Meridian is that we honestly have the nurse's best interest in mind. Case in point, one of the points is we don't as recruiters get paid commission based on the profit margin or how much extra money we make
Right. No.
the company. It's based upon how many travelers we have on assignment.
So that's the thing, right? There are companies out there that the more money a company makes, the more money the recruiter makes.
Correct.
And that is absolutely categorically not the case with us. We work on 20% margins, you guys know, so our recruiters do make a little bit more when they keep a nurse on board with us. There's what we call a loyalty on our side, so it's a retention. If they're doing a good job with a nurse, they do start to make more money with the nurse because guess what? They're doing the right thing by him or her. So I'm going to compensate our recruiters for kicking butt and keeping people happy. If you don't keep people happy, they're not going to stay with their company. So there's an internal motivation to keep nurses happy, and that's where you make more money. I don't think any nurse out there would object to that.
No.
But I think it's a big problem for a nurse to know that the more a company, I'm just going to throw it out there, screws you over,
Yeah.
the more money you're going to make as a recruiter.
Yeah.
That's insane. You guys know that? I found that out earlier today. I mean, I've known that for many years, but it's just to hear that it really happens blows me away. That there's companies out there that are motivating their recruiters to do everything they can to keep money out of a nurse's pocket. That's huge. That's a huge problem, and you guys should all recognize that. Now listen, there's a lot of companies that do it right. A lot of companies don't do that, so I'm not here to sit there and talk we're the only best company out there, but you know, that's the kind of thing you guys are dealing with. So when we do these series of videos that you see with me doing, and we're trying to educate you, I want travelers to be smarter. I want travelers to question everything. I want travelers to work for companies that are totally transparent. I promise you, that's something that you guys weren't transparent about, were you?
Deflect.
We'll use that, right?
Deflect and distract.
Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate, but that's what you guys are dealing with out there. So, again, if you like what you hear from our company, like us on Facebook, you know, go and find us on Twitter, find us on LinkedIn, follow what we're doing, putting a lot of series, a lot of videos out there to kind of help you understand and become a smarter traveler so you guys have a better knowledge. We believe the smarter the traveler is, the more they're going to migrate naturally to our company because we're doing things the right way. So, anyway, we appreciate your time today, and we'll see you again here real soon in beautiful
Southern California.
Southern California. Thanks, guys.